Okay, so the next video I want to put together is hopefully quick. I want to talk about kind of a special situation of complementary angles. So real fast with that, complementary angles is really any two angles whose measures add to 90 degrees. Okay, so quick example. All right, if let's say I have a 27-degree angle and a 63-degree angle, okay, this would give me these angles are complementary because uh, 27 plus 63 equals 90. So we do a lot of explaining in this course, Geometry Common Core. They'll ask you often, explain, yes, these are complementary. Now, why? Well, it's simple. Their measures add to 90, and that's kind of what you have to go through. It seems simple, but we have to get through the process of explaining better. So that's important to be able to do. Next, the most common situation that we're going to find with this is when we have a situation such as this. We have a straight angle. Okay, so angle ABC again is a straight angle. Or they could say that, another way they could write that is simply saying ABC, So you're getting used to how I'm writing things. We got to be consistent with that. Now, if I place ray BD in a particular way, in a way that we form what's called a right angle, we can throw this symbol in. Okay, that symbol right there is the symbol for a right angle symbol. All right. So get used to that. You will see this a lot. Okay. We'll talk about another meaning for that in the next problem, but let's focus on this. So if this is the right angle in our problem, the other side is as well. So basically here's what we would get. Okay. So if ray BD is drawn, we'll talk about the way it's drawn in a second, so that angle DBC is a right angle. Now, what we also get is, okay, so that gives us then angle ABD must be a right angle. So this is how we build up, a problem. We leave a lot of details out. We'll tell you something over here, but we're really going to be talking about this over here. Now watch what happens. So then we'll throw a ray in here such as BE. And this is where the whole problem begins. Name a pair of complementary angles. Okay, so BE is just a random ray. We would tell you that, we got this straight line. We've got BD drawn so that there's a right angle. And then we'll simply say, name a pair of complementary angles. So somebody's going to say, well, I don't see any angle measures. How do I know? Well, if this is a right angle, it measures 90 degrees. So then this whole angle, these two together, measure 90 degrees. So this one from here to here and this one from here to here are going to be your complementary angles. So that's something that's going to be expected of you right off the bat. Okay, so we're going to have angle ABE, and we don't even know the measures, but it doesn't matter. We know that their total will be 90. Okay, so angle ABE, this one right here, actually the arrow should go that way because I went from A to B to E, and angle E to B to D are complementary angles. That's our most common situation to find this. Okay? And then again, that arrow should be pointing that way because I went E to B to D. All right, so get ready for that. That's going to be an explain question or something along those lines. What do you get from this situation? or name a pair of complementary angles in this situation. All right, let's go back to that original diagram again. I want to add something to it. So we still have ABC. Okay. What we call this when a ray is put in that makes a right angle is we call it perpendicular. So we're going to learn a new symbol right now. Ray BD is perpendicular to, we'll call it line AC, segment, it doesn't matter. So line AC at point B. Okay, so that's, if you saw this, hopefully you would understand that that's what we're looking at. So immediately from that, this symbol is perpendicular. Okay, we got to get that down, perpendicular symbol. That kind of means you're going to get a right angle. So that means angle DBC is a right angle. And we'll give a reason here this time because perpendicular segments form right angles. Okay, this seems like a lot right now, but you will get good at this. This is something that you will really quickly pick up, and you'll be able to do all this. So just a little confusing right now, I'm sure. Also, what I want to see my students do is immediately put that symbol in there. When you see perpendicular, I want the right angle symbol in there. So that way it just helps you keep track of, what's really going on in the problem. Okay? So the next thing that'll happen is maybe we instead throw E, so up here perhaps. And, what I would say is that we'll create this little problem here. So let's say that's a 23-degree angle from here to here. Okay, so we're going to tell you the measure of angle DBE is 23 degrees. Find the measure of angle, let's go with E to B to A. Okay, so that would be this one, E to B to A. All right, now I tend to prefer to put a variable in there that hasn't been used in the problem already. So I'm going to call it X. And I'm going to add them to, here's the trick this time, it's 90. My students are looking for a steady, what do I do this, how do I do this every time? I don't know. This one's going to be 90. There's going to be another problem where maybe you have to add to 72. There's going to be problems where you have to add to 180. I can't tell you exactly what's going to come up. What I can tell you is, certain things like complementary, it's going to add to 90. You just got to read the situation, and sometimes you set angles equal, sometimes you add them to something. We've just got to, learn the situations. So once we learn this situation, we just got to practice it, and hopefully we'll get this down pretty quickly. So that would be 67. So the measure of angle EBA, right, that's going to be 67 degrees. So that's the problem you should be looking for. Some of the stuff that we would be able to do is name a pair of complementary angles or solve a problem with complementary angles. So one last problem that comes up, even though we haven't studied this yet, I think you're familiar with it. This is called a right triangle. Okay, this is a big one. Hopefully you guys can remember this for chapter 4, which is going to be the right triangles chapter. Okay, ABC. So angle C right now is a right angle. And this is going to be a little strange, but here's what we get from that. Angle A and angle B must be complementary. We haven't even studied this yet, but I think you know that. These three angles, whatever they are, have to add to 180. Well, we've used up 90. There's 90 left. So I don't know what either one of these is, but I do know they don't have to necessarily be 45. I don't know what they are. This one could be 30, and that one's 60, because I'm adding them up to 90. All I know is that there's 60 left. I'm sorry, 90 left, right, between these two, and that makes them complementary. So hopefully this lesson was helpful, and we'll do another one here very soon. Thanks.